Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm LadySmitan, and today's video is my very first ever build request video, so that's exciting. Over on SimsAmino, I was approached by a follower named IrishSimmer, and he asked me if I was interested in trying to build a house that he could use in his gameplay, because the house he was using at the moment was just too big and it took Sims forever to get from one side of the house to the other, and they were like never getting things done, so they'd be late for work or school, or they just go with bad needs and stuff like that. And I thought that would be pretty cool to test my skills with a brief from someone else, so I decided I would have a go. And this is the house that I'm currently building. He requested that I do a modern build and that it needed to be able to house 8 Sims quite comfortably. There isn't 8 bedrooms, but there is enough space for 8 Sims to live quite happily together. Also, obviously, I needed it to stay quite small and not too large, so it didn't take Sims forever and ever and ever to get around. I think I managed to do that quite well. And what was the other two? Oh, also if there could be a home gym and author's study, writing nook type area too. Sort of like a creative room. That was really well explained, but yeah, so I had to include that as well, and all of them are in the house. It is on a 40 by 30 lot. The house he was originally using was made by Deligracy, and it was on a 50 by 50 lot, and it was a mansion. It was just too big, he said, so I did my best not to make it too massive, and also doing something quite modern. I've done them before, but they are quite difficult to do sometimes because I don't live in a super modern house, so sometimes figuring out what looks right isn't always easiest. And oh, I also had to stick to certain stuff packs and game packs because IrishSimmer does not own all of the stuff packs. He doesn't own luxury party stuff, kids room stuff, spooky stuff I think might have been in there, and romantic garden stuff and perfect patio stuff, but I wasn't informed of the perfect patio stuff until after I'd uploaded the build, at which point he informed me that he didn't have that pack as well. So I went back, and there is actually now 2 versions of this house. There is the version which includes perfect patio stuff, and then there's a version where I went back and I got rid of all the perfect patio items and replaced them for other items, so he could get the full use of the house, considering it was actually built for him in the first place, and I didn't want him to sort of miss out on stuff because the build was slightly wrong. So there's 2 versions there on my origin, which is LadySmitan, if you want to go check them out and download them. It's already had like 100 something downloads, which is pretty crazy, so that's cool because it's only been on there for probably like less than a week, I think, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm just messing around a lot on this video with layouts and things. This is actually the first of 2 videos. As usual, I took forever to build, so there's 2 videos instead of 1, because otherwise you'd be here forever watching me struggle to build, rather than 2 separate videos where you can watch me struggle for a smaller period of time, a more bearable period of time, hopefully. In this one I do get to some of the furnishing, which you will see in a bit, but I obviously don't finish it, and that's more of what the second video is about, finishing off landscaping and furnishing. I finished most of the downstairs. I think in the second video I only had a few items in on the lower floor, and there actually are probably sections where I don't even show the video where I'm adding in items because I didn't film it, and then I thought, oh, I could put something there, and then I just put it in, and I didn't think about recording it. So I know that there's a piano and a chess table that just randomly appears partway through one of the videos because I didn't put it in the original video, so sorry. And if I'm struggling with this, it's because again I've got a bit out of practice with voice recording and I have to talk for like 24 minutes, so it's a little bit difficult when you're out of practice with it and got a bit of a dodgy throat still. I have noticed that when I'm playing in the house, the glass fencing that I've got around the top glitches out and flashes a lot, and I'm not sure why that is, so if someone could tell me how I could fix that in my game, that would be cool. I seem to have lots of glitches like that, and I have a very like good graphics card, it just, the game says it doesn't recognise the graphics card, so it sets all the settings to ultra, so I moved my settings down from ultra to medium and high in certain aspects, and I don't know, it's still being a bit weird, but I obviously don't want that to happen when I'm doing Let's Plays and stuff, so maybe you guys can give me a little help there, and maybe in the comments tell me stuff that I could do to fix that in my game, because my computer's quite large. It should be okay, but I don't know. Anyway, I painted all of the house in this Spa Day wallpaper, and then there's like the timber aspects as well, and then I go back and anywhere where I put the Spa Day wallpaper I change to the plastered brick, because I love the plastered brick and I thought it texturally looked better against the timber rather than just the flat plaster. I liked having the different textures together, it looked nicer. And it's just watching me put windows and stuff in, so it's not the most exciting thing to talk about. But I did plan on uploading this video sooner. It's been sitting in my computer for 5 days maybe, something like that, but I ended up going on a last minute excursion to Edinburgh with my mother to visit my sister, so I couldn't upload anything because I was away, and I had a great time. But I'm glad to be back and be getting back into doing videos and things, and I will definitely be doing more of them. I just need to get back into a routine of some kind, so I'm getting better at this stuff. I do have lots of ideas for LPs and build videos and stuff that I want to do, so I will get around to doing that, and hopefully some of you will stick around to see all of that, or maybe new people will join. That would be cool. Oh, and at the end of this video, if you've seen my other videos, you will notice that I now have an end card or an outro, whatever you want to call it. So that's new and that's cool, and I'm quite proud of that. So let me know what you guys think, if you think there's something I could do to make it better. But for now, I'm quite pleased with it because it's my first ever one. I've never made them before. Here I'm using that like black pebbles I thought was quite nice, and then I sort of lay the get together slabs on top of it later to sort of make a little pathway, like stepping stone type thing. Adding in a slightly more modern mailbox there, changing anywhere where there's timber, the windows and the doors to match the same colour because it looks a bit nicer than the stark white. I do add in a lot of columns in around the timber areas because I kind of wanted it to look like boxes that had sort of been like stuck onto the building. I thought that looked quite cool and a little bit weird, I guess, but I like the look of it, so they made them sort of like unique little boxes. I also take away that half wall on top of this protruding area later on because I don't like the way it looked, so I just got rid of it because it's not usable as a balcony or anything anyway, so it didn't really make sense to have the half wall there. Struggling with pillars for a moment. Got that all sorted, and then it ruined my decking, so I had to fix that. To place this lot, you do have to use move objects on because lots of the items I have used move objects on to place and to raise them up and size them up, and if you don't use move objects on, they will get deleted. There you go, there's the slabs I was on about previously. I added a slight water feature, I don't know if it's in this video or in the next one, and here I am changing everything to the plastered brick because it looks much nicer with two different textures together. And I just really love that wallpaper. And also I tend to do some of my normal habits. There is a blue and orange theme in certain rooms because I just love that combination. And yeah, I'm not sure if it's in this video or in the next video, but you might notice that I move lot because the one I was building on, when you tried to save the lot, the little picture that came up was blocked by a tree, so that was cool. So you couldn't actually see any of the house in the save picture, so I had to move. I think I must have already moved by now, it looks like it, so. And I tried to give them sort of, the garden's not massive because the house takes up most of the lot, but I think the garden's still very, like, it's a decent size and they get lots of like little activity space, and there's a meditation centre and the yoga mats and the swimming pool and the little barbecue area and some growing areas and some chilling out areas, so there's enough, I think. And you could add in stuff if you wanted like kids play area and stuff. And this is the kitchen that I'm working on at the moment. I decided to use the plastered brick a bit on the inside as well to have some of the outside coming inside and a bit of like industrial vibes to certain parts. I don't keep everything so orange. And then I used the subway tiles, the white ones, because I thought they looked quite nice and modern, and IrishSimmer asked for a lot of white and bright colours and then like the odd pop of colour, so that's why I've got like the oranges and the blues, and then in some rooms there's green and other colours like that. You'll see it as I go along. And in this video I didn't know what the personalities of some of the Sims were when I was building rooms and stuff, so I don't actually do the bedrooms until the next video because I'd had time to discuss things with IrishSimmer a bit more and ask him what he needed, what he wanted for his bedrooms and stuff. So I only really do the nursery and the reading nook, I think, upstairs in this video. And then the next video I do all the other bathrooms, so bedrooms and bathrooms, so I do avoid that a lot in this video, which you might notice. I did a black and white because I didn't want everything to be so, I don't know, I just felt the white was a bit too bright and stark. And then over here I do this thing with the columns and the shelves because I wanted it to look as though like those are part of the shelves, the big columns are holding it up sort of thing. I just didn't want to have like levitating shelves. I tried to size up that image, it didn't work. I tried to size up that one, it didn't work, so then I put them all over there because I really like those little orange paintings. I think they're very cute, and I put the blackboard there and the black bin, so a bit more of black accents and black pillars just to sort of make it fit in properly and blend better. Eventually there is a bar area over here where this pillar and little dish cupboard are. I move them around and there is a bar and a half wall. I do move those shoes as well to the opposite side of the hall entrance bit. This becomes black eventually, but I do like the orange and blue together. I think it's very nice, very bright and modern, and I don't know, it's just my personal preference. So if you don't like it, feel free to change it if you want to use this house. I might also be acting a little bit awkward in this video because there are a lot of people in my house right now and I feel a bit awkward when I record and there's more people in here, so that might make me a bit nervous and sound a bit lame at times because I'm listening out in case someone comes into my room or comes into the hallway and can possibly hear what I'm saying because I'm talking to my computer screen about The Sims, which I love doing, but other people will think I'm a little bit mental, so it does make you feel a bit nervous. But yeah, just decorating everything, and I've used Move Objects on a lot to get these into the right places because I wanted them to be arranged in a certain way, I wanted them to look nice. And this all gets moved around because where the half wall is I will add in a bar momentarily, so all of this moving around is kind of pointless currently. But yeah, we get there in a second. I also realise this light looks fabulous, but later on when you go upstairs and there is a big hole where the light is attached to, it doesn't make sense, and instead of doing what The Sims did in the Shaylama build, like if you've seen in Dine Out in Shaylama there is a light that they've sort of attached in a clever way. I didn't think of that because I forgot about that until I watched someone's video recently, and I just got interrupted by my boyfriend coming in, so that made me feel a bit more awkward. And I've taken like a 2-minute break downstairs to gather my thoughts again before I came back. Just in the dark, adding all of my lighting as I tend to do because I like to create the atmospheric look. We do keep that light that's in the dining room, I just use it in the upstairs hallway, and then I use the debug lights if you use, I don't know, show hidden objects, and then if you type debug in the search menu it comes up with all these items that are in the game but you don't normally get them in buy mode, and some of that is hidden lights, so they're like invisible when you're in game, like these ones you can see but I'm hiding them under cabinets, but normally these ones you can't see and they sort of just add extra lighting in places, so I use them later on, which you will see. I kept this very plain and very white because I'm not imaginative with bathrooms. They're either white or blue. So, and that goes throughout this house as always. So sorry, you could probably make it a bit more exciting. Maybe I should work on my bathrooms and make them a bit better, a bit more interesting. That could be something that I work on in the future. If anyone would like to request a build, please feel free to comment down below or contact me on Twitter or on SimsAmino if you're on there. I am LadySmitan on all platforms to make it simpler. But yeah, I would love to have more challenges and try and do more builds for people. I think it's quite fun having a brief set by someone else. I'm used to that from all of my years at uni and things anyway, so I work well to briefs generally. And there is the bar that I've just added in, so I move the table around a bit more. I think I move it again. I might even move a third time from that space so there's more space around the bar. There are sort of areas where I feel like it's just sort of blank space. It's quite like large spaces where I need to put more stuff in, but then I thought I'll leave that for you guys to decide what you want there, because I didn't know exactly what IrishSimmer wanted in his house. I don't know how he plays his game, so he might want to add in items that I wouldn't usually add in and stuff like that. I decided to try this TV cabinet looking idea there, and I've never used this rug or even these sofas really before, so I used them and we go for sort of a grey and green theme in here because I thought it was quite nice. Works quite well. It's a change from the orange and blue. There's also hints of yellowy goldy colours in there as well throughout the room. And that is where I add in the piano because I have a large expanse of space that I didn't know what to do. So later on a piano will magically appear and you don't actually see the video footage where I put it in because that doesn't exist. But yeah, there's probably a few items that just appear throughout the build, and I use the little lanterns there on my fig TV cabinet from Perfect Patio stuff. I use them quite a lot in lots of my builds, so that's why I had to go back and delete those items. And I also used the outside chairs, which I had to go back and delete, so then I could upload a second version which didn't have any Perfect Patio items in. So yep, you can use either version, you can use both versions, it's up to you. I tried to build some sort of unit over here as well with bookshelves and counters and cabinets, and it just didn't work, so that doesn't stay. We get rid of that, and I use a side table with some random items on it, a large picture above it, some plants, the usual stuff, stereo system there, so there's the two pictures. I changed that actually, I think I used the dine out, one of the long dine out pictures, and that gets full with these three bookcases, which all have different lights and stuff on them. I really like those bookcases. This becomes a desk area. Right now it looks like a seating area, but I changed that and I put a random desk in there, and then there is a seating area which I move around a lot. In a second you'll see I'm struggling to figure out where it goes. My usual little sort of seating area in the entrance hall, so you can sit down and take your shoes off and put your shoes on and all that sort of stuff. Even though Sims don't do that, I like to have that in there for my little ideas of realism. And I moved those chairs because I wanted them to face outwards so they could see out the window at like nice views and stuff, rather than all the chairs facing into the house, because if you've got loads of large windows and you've got really nice views, you're not gonna want to face inside your house all the time, you're going to want to see outside, which is why I'm messing around with the layout here for a long time. And then eventually I figure it out, and I do something quite interesting with a bit of fencing, which I will discuss more when it gets to it because it might be a bit difficult to explain. But I put this half wall in here, and I try windows, and I try different like the half wall decorations because I wanted to make it sort of separate but still in the same room, and I didn't like it. And then eventually, after I figured out the wallpaper, I go back and I use this lattice fencing that you can get in sort of a beige wood colour, and I use some columns and it makes quite a nice divide. Here's the lattice fencing that I use. I changed the colour though, and it makes quite a nice divide of the room, and I really liked sort of like the way light gets cast through the fencing, so I quite like that. I'll probably use that again in future builds. It looks quite pretty and quite modern, so I liked that a lot. That's where the piano will appear at some point. Oh, this is a different video footage, as you might have seen the jump there. And I'm just working on the outside area, and that small little glass room off the kitchen does become the indoor gym, which has a nice view to the pool, so it all makes sort of sense. It's all very cohesive and like flows well, because you've got the there's a doorway out to the pool and the yoga mats from the gym, so I thought that worked quite well. It is a bit random, I suppose, to have your gym off of your kitchen, but it worked better, this layout, than any other layout I could think of, because the only other room I could have there really was either a bedroom, which I thought was really random to have off of your kitchen. It tends not to be something you have in English homes. It might be a bit common in American homes when they've got bedrooms on the first floor. We tend to have either a bungalow, which is all the bedrooms on the lower floor, or you have your like ground floor and then your first floor with bedrooms and so on. So I didn't want to do that. And then the reading, like writing nook, room, study, whatever we're calling it. Also, I felt like it didn't quite work there, and I used the balcony upstairs above the gym as an area for relaxation with like a massage chair, but also the painting easels out there, so I thought it was quite like a nice little creative thinking, relaxing zone. And it went well with the library reading nook. I don't even know what we're calling it. It's got all the names, but places where you write books and read and study. So that goes there. This is perfect patio chairs that I end up changing in the second version to get together chairs for it to work. There is the painting easel I was on about. This is the room of many names, the study thing, which I add I don't know if I finished that room in this part of the build. I might finish it in the next video. I do the nursery, and I believe I finished the nursery, but I'm not sure about the reading nook. And I know that this video cuts off really weirdly in part of the garden, but I didn't want the videos to be too long, so I had to make them sort of similar lengths. So at like 23 minutes I think I cut this one, and then the other one's 26 minutes because of screenshots, so a bit random. And I can tell you now that in the household, sorry, I should say, that IrishSimmer is playing, he has 2 teenage daughters, 2 twin children who are also girls. And recently, before, like, I built this house before this happened, but he told me that his Sims had another baby and it's a boy, so luckily I made a gender neutral nursery prior to this information, so that was handy. I mess around with colours a lot. I wanted kind of like blues and greens, but it didn't work, so in the end we end up with yellow and blue as the sort of scheme, which I still feel is quite gender neutral. I like it anyway, it's very cute. And I moved the bassinet to that area, so when you do the show baby interaction to other Sims, they can actually, it will function, it will work, because if you have it against the wall they can't do that for whatever reason. It's just a bit of a weird thing. So yeah, I have some problems with my mouse, so this is where I'm fighting with my mouse. It keeps freezing for some reason, so I need to work on that as well and get it to stop doing that. And it made placing items quite difficult at times during this build, which I've edited out most of it. But yeah, I thought this was quite cute little nursery, quite bright and colourful, and it only has the one window because the baby's not exactly going to be like enjoying a view. So it made sense to me to have this room, and we don't have toddlers, so it's not like the toddler's going to be enjoying the view either. I don't know. Just sort of making it whimsical with the different sized trees and all the little rabbit wall decals and the clouds and stuff. I thought it was quite cute. I used that chest of drawers thing, the dresser, sort of, it's meant to be sort of like a changing mat area. I thought it worked quite well. And then now we're on to the study area, which I added in a bathroom, which might seem really random, and I probably should have added a bathroom by the gym, but I just saw a space and I was like, they need as many bathrooms as possible because it's a large family and it takes everyone forever to get ready if you've only got a few bathrooms. So they're all over the house, so you don't have to walk ages to get to one generally. There's only one downstairs, which might have been a bit of a oversight, I suppose is what I'm trying to say, in my I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Well, you know, I should have put more downstairs, but I didn't because the space didn't look right for it. So there's many upstairs. So there's, what is it, 7 bathrooms and 6 bedrooms overall. And here I'm getting rid of that half wall to make it look more like a box, adding in all the other columns to make it look more like boxes that have been stuck on, because I like that idea. I tried to get rid of the half wall there, but it didn't work, it just looked wrong, so we keep that. And then this is almost the end of the video. I'm just adding in some foliage here, like some plants and stuff, and a pathway, and then the video cuts off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like or comment down below to let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video in the next couple of days. Bye guys!